So, finally, we got the parts from Kala. Let's see. I have not unboxed them yet, so let's see what we've got. I mean, I unboxed them technically, but not unbagged them. Yeah. Nice. Very important. Interesting. Interesting. So, first thing that I want to test is if this thing here pairs with our remote, because this is the exact same looking battery box, may not be the exact same performance. Let's see. Let's see if it pairs with the battery box. It pairs with the battery box. Holy shit. Nice. Okay, so this is solved. I need to put a marker on it to know that this is the one that that actually pairs. That should do it. so that I know that this one is the one that pairs, because the other one doesn't. So this one does. Okay, very good. That's first check mark. Okay, so obviously I got a bunch of panels. I got these here, obviously, and then a bunch of other stuff. These we don't need today. Neither these. Okay, yeah, these are gonna be useful. Differential first. Let's see. Nice. So this differential, unlike the Lego one, has a hole through, and would you know it? There's no slack. It's a really nice fitting one. Really nice fitting one. What we are doing with the other one, I don't know. I mean, it's not broken. It obviously should pair with some battery box, just not mine. So it's, I don't know. We need to find the use for it. I mean, if someone has a Kata system and wants to try it, I can send the box to them. You know, and since I cannot get it to pair, I have no use for it. Okay, these are some glass pieces. I think they are basically a clear glass to this one, which is nice. These are longer CV joint axles. We are definitely gonna use these ones today. So these ones are basically what we manufactured in one of the previous teams. Yeah, we're gonna definitely use these ones. Nice. Okay, I mean, I ordered these ones. You know, I don't have a particular use case for them, but they looked interesting. So, you know, who knows? Maybe we can find some use for them. And then, of course, the missing lengths of these that we didn't have before. Yeah, and these are also longer and better than the Lego ones. Okay. Oh, these are, oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I ordered these from a parts catalog that I was sent to, by Kata, but I ordered more parts. These are not all the parts that I ordered. I ordered more. Interesting. Of course, you know, these are 4 stud long lift arms. Very interesting. And these, very important. These are gonna be the door hinges. I was just hoping that they would send me the longer ones because I ordered few of them. Interesting. I mean, these will have to do for our purposes, but you know, well. Or these for the doors, they did not have any in red, so I had to order them in black. Yeah, and of course, you know, these, very interesting part. And of course these. And yeah, I mean, obviously these are also the ones that have pinholes all around. Very useful stuff. Things that are often missing with Lego. So yeah, we do have some parts to play with. But first, we gonna address the elephant in the room, which is the front suspension. Let me just put these in a box. so that I can separate them from Lego. Even though they are clearly, clearly different, I still want to keep them in their separate boxes. We're gonna leave these alone, and these alone. Interesting. I mean, I am pretty sure that we are going to use some of these. And the springs are interesting. They are actually pretty hard. I ordered enough so that we would have enough for the fronts and rears. These are gonna, I mean, I don't know. They are pretty rough, but I guess they get run in time. They're actually, let's see. These are, oh yeah, these are much stiffer than this. This is actually soft. This is pretty stiff. Very good. Very good. So we could get away with, if we mounted this spring one step closer to the center of the car. So we could have this spring mounted not as far out as we have this, which is good. This is good to know. We're definitely gonna use this today. Yeah, and of course I ordered 2 of these, just so that we, have these for the gearbox. They are different from Lego, of course, so we have to work with these and see how they work. Okay. Yeah, and of course these. Interesting. Let's try them. Nice. Pretty snug fit. Pretty snug fit. We'll see how much these allow, how much movement these allow, because obviously they allow a lot in this direction, but moderate in this direction. But we have to work with this, because the average person is gonna, build this. They're gonna put this just in the socket and, whatever orientation it is. So we have to design the suspension for this setup. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, let's put this on. We're gonna change this anyway. Yeah. Okay, so the front suspension. Christian, again, spent a lot of time and effort in designing this here. This is, I still haven't modified it to the latest version, but this is a suspension made out of the very seemingly useless hub that Lego built. It's useless for more or less every purpose, except of what we did here. Combination of interesting parts. We are going to move this ball joint here half a stud further back still, so that the hub is gonna remain upright while maintaining the proper casting. Okay, this will will also make the mounting of this easier. But I would probably want this here to be positioned differently. This is because you see, I built this wrong, by the way. This is too narrow. All of this needs to be one step further out, so that this part here, so the ball joint here, is gonna align with this here. And then I would like to turn this sideways so that we can attach a ball joint directly to the rack, and then a ball joint here. This is an idea. We'll see. Let's first modify the hub, and then we have to move all of this one step further out, and then we can see if this has any merit. Yeah, of course, this I can test this, the validity of this here right now, because the up and down movement is not gonna change. Yeah. And I'm very interested in how this works. Okay. So this is like full drop-ish. Well, it should be like this. Full drop, then right height, and it gets better when it's lifting up. Something like that. You can see that the ball joint here is now in, let's say, the most ideal position it can be. The downside, of course, is that it's fixed. Come on. The downside is that the steering angles are limited, but they are fine. They are not as big as you would maybe expect or whatever, but they are bigger than the suspension that we had with the Multilink, the first iteration that started the rebuild process. And they're a little bit smaller than the ideal version of the Multilink that we had. Obviously, since this is here, I cannot fully turn the rack in this direction, but we'll fix this. Yeah. Yeah. The interesting part is only that the ball here in this configuration prevents the full extension. But if we would in the building instruct, I have not changed it. I will change it now. I will change this all now. This is I just left this as it was. I didn't touch it since the last time I sent you pictures. It's just I'm just demonstrating some stuff before we tear it apart, and yeah. If we in the building instructions specify this position of the ball joint, this would be ideal. Yeah, this is perfect. This is perfect. Yeah. Okay, let's tear this apart and build the proper version. So first, modifying the hubs. Wait, what do you mean? Is this... Did it change anything? I mean... Hold on, let me see if I have missed anything. I mean, the only thing that your latest version just moves this part here half a stud further back, right? The rest is the same, as far as I understand. I mean, I hope I understand correctly. Yeah. So with this here, we have the upper ball joint is half a stud further away than this, creating a caster angle. And the hub, when mounted, is going to be upright. Well, it's going to be upright instead of angled back, which is going to make positioning of the steering ball joint much easier. Okay, so here I would like to position the ball joint here differently. Can I do it? I am not sure. I'm not sure. I would like to. So I would like the ball joint to sit here. If we contrast this to this hub, this is so that we can have it steered like this. Is this gonna hold? Maybe. Maybe. It's not ideal. But maybe. Because with this one here, you know, we have kinda a problem when positioning this ball joint here. Because on the steering, the connector, the steering link is gonna come up to here. Come on, focus. It's gonna come up to here, and this is not a good position to mount anything. I don't know how to mount this properly so it wouldn't move. So the best way would be to put a another ball here, like that. Then have this here. I mean, obviously I chose the wrong hub. I should have, yeah, whatever. So we would steer it like this directly. That would be really perfect. Is this strong enough? Yeah, this is much stronger. Problem is how to do this in a non-bulky way. There may be an option. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna use this system. It is possible. this is much stronger. But for this we need to modify this here. Let me get some parts. We have the room. That's the other question. We have the room. Should have the room. The problem is why I don't want to use this here, as Christian did. I don't want to use this here because of this here. This is not gonna end well. So you would think this is a nice way to construct a non-bulky suspension arm, but the problem is that when you apply pressure here, what's gonna happen is basically this here is gonna being pulled apart. At least that's how I remember it from before. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Maybe. Yeah, but this is in the middle. Maybe if we put the spring here. We put the spring here in the middle. Maybe. Or fuck it, let's use this because it's more elegant than what I did. And let's see. You can still use something else. Okay. Let's remove this because I built this wrong. It's my version here. I miscalculated. It's too close to the body. Too close to the body. Once it needs to be one step further out. Oh, come on. Focus, please. Focus. needs to be, where is it? I need to have it here. Needs to be here. So we're basically gonna have something similar than before. This is the front mount, and in the rear, this here, and then we can slide this in here. No wait, oh, my mistake. Of course, because I had this here. Okay, scratch that. Scratch that. But we have color parts. We have color parts that are different. Color parts that could save the day. Let's see. We could use this guy here. This guy here. Like that. Like that. Yeah, and this, in a moment like this, I wish I had a part like this with a pinhole here. I mean, this is solvable, but this guy. Perfect. See? This is perfect. And now we can mount this. This. I mean, we can place this in front probably, so that we don't have this bulk here. But for now, it's gonna do. Okay. This is okay, I guess. Okay. This is troublesome. These are going way too high for my liking. But okay. So let's place the upper arm. Upper arm has to be different from this because we moved this to the back. It needs to be I want to say bulkier, but I think we're gonna use this here. And this here. Hey, look! Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I mean, it's basically the same thing. It just moves our pivot here. Come on. pivot here once that's to the back. Like this. Okay. Now we just have to mount a find a mounting point for it here, and I think we're gonna use this here for now. Let's see, where did I fuck up? Where did I fuck up? Because I did. Okay, it needs to be either one step further out. Oh. Check. Very good. Where did I fuck up? Did I fuck up? That's the other question. Did I fuck up? No. This needs to be one step further out. Yeah. Okay. Of course, because I mounted it here before. So we need to push this one out. Okay. I'm gonna use this here for now because I'm lazy. Just so we have the mounting point. Okay. So this is the setup. Now we only have to attach the steering. Here. Maybe we could. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, obviously I have to freeze this in place. Otherwise we're not gonna get accurate results. Like this, yeah. Okay. And this is it. Right height, probably. Yeah. This should be proper if we fix it here. Yeah. Let's see. How are we going to provide a mount point for the ball joint down here? It needs to be like here. The ball joint needs to be here. Tricky. I mean, I can do something temporary, of course. That's not a problem, but this is not okay. This is not okay. So the geometry here pretty much checks out. Let's see about bump steer. Do we have bump steer? No, we don't. For most accurate results, of course, we need to fix the front part here as well. Let's do this. Otherwise, I'm gonna go mad. because this is flopping around uncontrollably. Okay, they are not. I think they should probably not come in interference, or oh, they are. They are gonna interfere with each other, or no. But by the moment they are gonna interfere with each other, it's way too late. Anyway, okay, that's good. That's good. Ish. So let's make sure that this is somehow fixed. Okay. Yeah, this is now not perfect, but it's it's not flopping around anymore. So we can have accurate results and see how it performs with the wheel on. And apart from the steering rack flopping around, because obviously it's not fixed as it should be, it's pretty okay. Pretty okay. Obviously, these two members here are hitting this part here, but this part here cannot be here anyway. We need to change this because this is like a joke. But I'm wondering what to do here. I would still like, because the angles here are not very good, very big, I would still like this to be tilted around. The question is only, so the mounting point here is not problematic. Mounting point here is more problematic. Or is it? Or is it? I wonder. What if we did the following? What if we did the following? It's never gonna be perfect. What am I doing? Hold on. We have the perfect part for it. We just got it. Will you focus, please? got this part here. Focus. And we can use this here. This can be used here. And we have this part here. And then we can use it. Well, obviously this has to be something else. For example, this here. Or no. That. Okay. Then we pin this in here. And this is good enough. This is good enough. This is good enough. Yay for cut parts. And now we can pin this in perfectly. Very nice. Well, let's do the other side, and then we can actually see with the wheels on how this looks. Yeah. Oh. Oops. Okay. Okay. It is still pretty damn hot here, by the way. Okay, let's check. Did we do everything right? I think so. Yeah, no bumps there. No bumps there. We do have Ackerman, I think. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I can hear thunderstorm brewing, but we'll see if it comes to it. Okay, obviously no springs yet, because we need to figure out how to do the springs, and we need to kind of, we need to do this stunt here. But let's try it first. Let's see. So this is straight. This is one extreme. I mean, it's not perfect. Thing is that when you are going to move these with the hand of God steering, you are gonna get a slightly bigger angle, of course, out of it, because you can turn it more than 90 degrees. But these are the extremes of what the steering can do, and I think this is good. It's pretty good, actually. Pretty good for what it is, and it's actually very solid suspension, because we do have the camber gains that we want. We do have the camber gains. This is as far as it goes. I mean, what we have here is no worse than what we had with the first iteration. So with the iteration of the multilink, before Ben said the steering angle is not good enough. I don't know. I don't know. What if I disconnect this? Can I? No. I can stretch it more in this direction, and I can maybe, let's see, maybe, yeah, I can push it more in this direction. So the limiting factor is what? In this case, yeah, the limiting factor is actually the steering rod, but it's only a limiting factor with the hand of God steering. So if we didn't have this steering rod arrangement, if we use the hand of God steering, we could go more. No, that's the maximum we can go. Regardless, or yeah, more or less. That's the maximum we can go. But this is more than 90 degrees, of course. I mean, it's hard to judge like this. You know what we could do? Um, we can put some bodywork next to it to properly judge it. And look at this. We are actually scraping here on the bodywork because the scrub radius is just garbage. I think this is at the proper position. Yeah. I mean, it feels good. You know, it feels good. This is stiff, nicely stiff, and all. I mean, at the extreme angle, of course. So at full drop, no, at full drop, we just have to make it so that at full drop, the upper arm is vertical, so that the steering, doesn't hit it. Otherwise, you're gonna have a collision, which is not gonna be pretty, but doesn't matter. Yeah. For fuck's sake, this. Why does this? Did. But we did not have the geometry. That's the problem. Multilink just didn't it did not give us the geometry that we needed. And the problem was not the upper pivot. The upper pivot was fine. It's okay. The side skirt needs to be mounted further in. Okay. Yeah, well then it's even worse. And if this is, this is fine, the gap, if we put it one stud further back, which would not make it scrape, we have a gigantic hole here, which is okay, since we can fill it with the fender. Still solvable, because the scrub radius is horrendous. I don't know. So this is the center. So this is at right height. Okay, right height. The center is this, and now we have 90 degrees in one direction, which is meager, and 190 degrees in the other direction. We could increase this if we moved this pivot here closer to this here. So it will be solved. If we do that, of course, we are gonna make ourselves a disfavor, because we're gonna get toe out. But if we move this pivot here closer to the center here, we're gonna get more steering angle for the same movement of the pinion. How we're gonna do this, I don't know. See, the full swing is above 90 degrees. It's not a huge difference, but you know, it's some difference. I mean, the angles are pretty much the same as in the multi-link that we had at the first iteration. The difference is that here we actually do have a proper caster. We do have a bigger scrub radius. So, you know, a bit of pro and con. And this suspension actually, compared to the multi-link, is, well, it's truer to the original car. That's why I am actually in favor of it. It's simple. The only downside is that the steering angles could be better. For this, we would need to figure out some way of moving this part here closer to the center of the pivot. Yeah, but I don't have the caster trail, right? I'm sorry, but today I'm literally cooking here. I'm being boiled alive. It's so hot. So I'm even slower than usual. Now this would be then the ultimate mimicry of the original car. Very stiff suspension. Very good. We literally only need little more steering angle. A little more steering angle, and this would be the perfect representation of the original suspension. Interesting. Oh yeah, this is so stiff. I mean, we cannot match the stiffness of this with the multilink. No way. No way we can match this. This is just... If we could move this here half a stud closer to the pivot, that would be great. Can't. Even if we could, we would get toe out. Damn it! This is so perfect. And we cannot use different gears here. That's the other problem. We cannot use different gears here. If we could use the 16 tooth gears here, that would be great. You can't, because they would interfere with each other. This makes so much difference. Well, it's never enough. It's not enough, I guess, but it's gonna have to be enough. Yeah. If we had this closer to the center, that would give us more steering angle. What is actually causing this to stall? Ah. Okay. Hold on. We may not get more steering angle with the servo, but we definitely can get more steering angle with the hand of God steering. because the limiting factor here is this here. This is limiting us here. It's in the center. Okay. Yeah, it is. Okay, so we gain half a stud with this each side. Let's see how much of a steering angle we get. Okay, so back in the center, I think. Are we in the center? Yeah. back in the center. Now we have more steering angle. Yeah. So the limitation actually, this is actually pretty good. It's pretty good. The limitation is not really the, this is good. So with the hand of God steering, we have a lot more movement now that we have maxed out the steering rack. Okay, so this is fine. We just need to find out how we could get more movement with the servo. Or if we say, okay, it's a servo, the car is going to be driven outside anyway, so the steering angles can be smaller because it's gonna, you know, be in the yard and do bigger maneuvers, I guess. Because I really like this. Only thing we need to do now is fit a spring in there somehow, somewhere. Yeah, probably this needs to go to the other side, and then the spring can be mounted like this here. Yeah, probably. Maybe. Because, you know, I really like this because this is actually so much, it's so stiff. This is so nice. It doesn't move anywhere. It shouldn't. You know, it's a really strong suspension. Yeah, I mean, that's not an option. The bigger gear is definitely not an option, because then we cannot fit 3 gears side by side here. One for the hand of God steering, one for the servo, one for the steering here. 16 would be fine. 16 teeth would be fine, but we cannot fit it in here. If we could, we would already have, but we cannot, sadly. 12 tooth it is. We would need to move this here closer to this here. Yeah. We would need to move this here half a stud closer to this would be already enough, but no can do. No can do because of this wonderfully thought out wheel hub, I think. Or, well, no, wait. Wait. Maybe we can. Maybe we can, because this wheel hub allows this here. Grumble. Maybe. Not sure, but maybe. May not be as solid as this, but it's gonna be just a stupid proof of concept. Stupid. So if this was here, yes. here. Okay. This is maybe. This brings it closer. Who knows? We definitely have more movement. Definitely. Is it? Yeah, it's half a stud closer than this. Let's change this as well and compare. We can always go back to the previous version, but let's see. Come on, sit here. Come on. Okay, this is more steering angle. And that's the middle. I was afraid we would get actually toe out, but we don't really. But this is more steering movement for the same amount of turning radius. And if we do the thing with the hand of God steering, come on, focus. Can you focus, please? Oh, come on. Focus. Thank you. So this is really maxed out steering angle, and you see that we're not at the maxed out steering angle, we're not far away from 90 degrees. So 90 degrees is only this much less, which is not even noticeable. This is okay. I'm almost willing to say this is okay. I mean, I do think it's fine. This is probably, and I'm willing to bet it's probably about as much steering angle as the original Countach has. As far as I can see, we have minimal Ackerman minimal, if any. But I'm happy if it's just neutral. So if we have the proper camber gains, we have caster trail. Don't get me wrong, caster trail, and the suspension is very solid, like very solid. Obviously, we need to do something about the front wishbone mount, but other than that, it's pretty solid. I'm reasonably happy with it. It looks like the original. Even looks the way the original does. Who would have thought? Now all we need is a spring. Let's try to do this. So for a spring mount, this needs to go. Otherwise, there's not gonna be room for the spring. Just MacGyver up a spring mount here. It's gonna be crap, but holy shit, okay. We can do a bump stop with this. We can do a bump stop. So basically, this is way too much of springing in, and we can actually put something on here to create a bump stop. For example, we can do like something like this. Not the best, but not the worst either. We can do better, of course. We can do better. We can do a bump stop per excellence. It's a really nice bump stop. I mean, we can move it like here, half a slot closer in this direction by using the different connector, so that it corresponds directly to this. Maybe, but right now it's in the middle of the ball joint, which is probably the preferred way. Okay, let's do the other side as well. I've seen it, but obviously in the middle of the stream, I just cannot. I see the multi-link, of course, but I'm going to look at it after the stream, since today we're not gonna build it anyway. I'm gonna finish this and then we're gonna continue some other day. Oh man, I really hope it at least rains. It's so fucking humid. I'm melting here. I mean, we're gonna give the multi-link a chance, of course. Gonna build it, the version that Christian did during the weekend. Come on. And then we're gonna see how it compares. Yeah, I mean the system has a little bit too much friction, I guess. Need to work on this. No problem. I know what the problem is. Basically, we need to use the different connectors here, and we need to use the non-friction pins on the upper wishbones. That should be fine. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. But these springs are weird. They have so much internal friction. I don't know why. I mean, I see why, because they are actually, if we would grease them up a little bit, these would be perfect for McPherson suspensions, like in the Sierra. Why? Because, see, while this thing here is very wobbly, this is very wobbly, this thing is not at all. Because this thing has an axle here. There's an axle running in, and the problem is that this axle here has, well, resistance. I do not have silicone lubricant here with me, but I bet if we lubricated this a little bit, that would run a whole lot better. But it is what it is at the moment. It is what it is. Yeah, with lubricant this would be amazing. Yeah, this runs very smooth, but this needs some lubricant because it's just too rough. The surface here, I don't know if maybe if it's just that these parts fit so well together that there's, you know, they're fit a little bit too much, too good together. Yeah, I mean, enter roll bar, obviously, but where? There's just, I tried it with the multi-link. There was room, but here it's just, it's so little room. Probably not gonna happen. Probably not gonna happen. I don't know where I would even route the links to be honest. There's just no space. No space at all. Yeah. This is actually pretty good. We are gonna add, of course, the non-friction stuff here. And the only thing that you know, that prevents this from being great is basically the springs that are too stiff. But not too stiff because the spring is too stiff, but because of this here. This is just, you know, way too stiff. I mean, for our purposes here, we can of course lubricate it, and I will definitely lubricate it, but that's not what's gonna happen with the springs that are gonna be shipped with the set. And I don't know how to engineer around this. That's the problem. I don't know how to engineer around this. See, just stays down. There's so much friction in the spring, it just stays down. Yeah, you can hear it. And I'm pressing it directly, so I'm not trying to bend it, just directly pressing it, and you can hear the internal friction. I mean, obviously they're gonna be freed up with, you know, very frequent use, but still, if I take one that has not been used, wow, what the fuck? Okay. But this one is smoother, so inconsistent. And this one is also smoother. What? Well, this one is stiffer. What? Why are they so inconsistent? Let's change this. Let's change this one for one of these. I mean, yeah, it still stays down. Still no change. But this, yeah, this is. I mean, this is a problem, obviously. This is a problem. We press the springs down and they stay down. That is not okay. It's totally not okay. What if we put the Lego spring in? I wonder. What would happen if we put the Lego spring in? No bump stop, just the Lego spring. The Lego spring is softer, of course. Okay? Obviously, you can clearly see that it's softer. It's really jelly-like, but it springs back up because it has far less internal friction. Oh god, Sam. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Sadly not. Yeah, it's absolute garbage. I absolutely agree with Christian. It is garbage. Garbage. What if we move this one, well, one stud, yeah, one stud further out? What would happen if we do this? So if we use this here, oh, okay. Okay, this suddenly this works. Suddenly this works. Yes, of course. yeah, suddenly this works. Who would have thought this works? Let's leave this out. Much better. Much better. Yeah, exactly. Now we can do this. Very good. Very good. We still need to figure out this here, the front mount, but this has a future. This has a future. Definitely. And we are no longer burdened here with the mount for the springs, because the mounts of the springs are already taken care of by this structure. So we are free here to do our thing for the hinges and everything else. Very good. Very good. Yeah. What can I say? Needs few tweaks. Few tweaks. What if we can move this even one stud? Yeah. If need be, we can move this even one stud closer. Yeah, that would make it even better. If we move this one stud closer, obviously we need to move it up. Yeah, we need to move it up, but that's okay. That's okay. That's perfect. So if we move it to here, yeah, yeah, okay, that's also a possibility to make. I mean, we can experiment with how the springs are supported, but yeah, this is, I would say this is what we're gonna use. You know, steering angles are good enough. They are better than the Kada models that I've seen. We have the proper geometry. It looks like the real thing. Yes, the scrub radius is shit, but so it's the scrub radius on the real car, and we're gonna, you know, dress the gap here with some panels, so you know we get the fucking wheel arch. We have enough room here for both the servo and the actuator for the lights. We have enough room here for the lights, so nothing is obstructing the hinge points for the pop-up lights. So yeah, it would be funny, of course, if now that this has a bigger scrub radius at full lock, if it would collide with the pop-up headlights. That would be funny. Yeah, but we'll deal with that if when it comes to that. Yeah. This is going to be here. And the mechanism for the lights is going to be just in front of it. Ideally, now that we know that this comes in here, yeah, we'll deal with it later. Now that we know that, that we know that this comes in here, we are gonna redesign this front plate because this was designed to house the supports for the steering rack, which I still would like to do somehow. But we're gonna change this so that we can pin the servo directly onto the front plate of the steering rack. You know, so that the servo is really fixed in position on the steering rack. But obviously, we're gonna deal with this in another stream. During the weekend, we will continue. At least I will, and Christian probably as well. I am going to rebuild this front plate. I'm going to play with the mounts for the springs, and we'll see what we can do here. And of course, we need to, make a proper mount for this, or maybe we can leave it like this. Probably, yeah, we could probably leave it like this because this in the front is not the top wishbone is not that critical, and I don't know. The lower wishbone is the one that takes all the brunt. This one is basically just to hold up the top the top mount. So yeah. Our front suspension. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I am sick with it. We are not gonna change this anymore. It's fine as it is now. I am happy with the steering angles. They are good enough. They are better than any of the cars, any of the stuff that was driving before. So these steering angles are better than they were. And we have caster, which is nice. We have the perfect geometry, everything. And it looks like the real car. That's another bonus. So I'm declaring this the official suspension, basically. What can we do? And with this, it's the end of the stream. Finally, we arrived at a acceptable front suspension, if I can say this. Tweaks are gonna be made for some stuff here, but nothing groundbreaking. So we can finally, on Monday, we can finally move on with other important stuff. We gonna on Monday we are going to build this into the existing car. We are going to make the tunnel, central tunnel that connects to this, and we're gonna do the basically the firewall and the door mounts with the new pieces that we have, and we'll see what happens. You know, and then we are going to reinstall, of course, the pop-up headlights and everything, retest, and then what we have to do is revisit the gearbox, because the gearbox cannot use the modified gears because Kara doesn't have them. So we need to think of a way to make the gearbox work without them. At least we have the differential with the axle through. Makes our life a lot easier. The gearbox is gonna be 4 studs longer, or maybe 3. Depends on how we can squeeze it. So we have work to do. But I'm really happy with this. Really happy with this. This is, to be honest, better than I expected. It looks simple, but we have put in way too much work. Way too much work for something that should have been simple but isn't. It looks simple, but holy shit. Yeah. Anyway, I am fucking sick of it. So is Christian, and I am waiting for tomorrow. Tomorrow I am getting a my third E30 shell. Yeah, that's right. I will have 3 E30 touring body shells in my workshop. Yeah, that happened. I accidentally another body. So which part? If Kala has which part? Oh, you mean these, the parts that we used? Yeah. I will ask. I will make pictures of the suspension that we did, and I will ask them if they have the parts so we can do it. And we'll see. You know, we'll see if they do. Then yeah, I mean it's it's as realistic as we can make it, like literally. Probably we should. We probably can. We can switch this. Let's switch this around. Or no, we can't. We cannot. We cannot switch this around. Geometry says no. I'm gonna make pictures for you tomorrow, of course, in the workshop, so you can see all 3 shells together. But I got another shell because the shell that I've been offered, yes, I've been offered a shell, is basically rust-free. It has one major problem that is not such a big problem at all. Basically, someone decided that it's gonna be a drift car, they did just one cutting. So basically, the central tunnel, or part of it, has been cut out in order to be able to move the engine further into the passenger space for better weight distribution. This is not a problem because I have a perfectly fine tunnel on the other shell that I can just flex out and install. And this is a much simpler fix than all of the rust repair that was planned for the shell that I have. And even if I decided, okay, I'm going to cut the good parts of this shell and put it into the one that I already have, that would be way too much work. Just fixing the central tunnel, since it's extremely accessible, is really the simplest fix. It's gonna be done, and the rest of the body is literally rust free. I've seen the pictures. Parts of the car that are usually rusted away or non-existent anymore they look mint. So I just had to take it, and I'm getting free front fenders with it, and a lot of details and plastic pieces that I actually need and would cost me a lot more money than the shell that I bought. So I wanted to buy some 700 or 800 euro worth of metal parts from Norway, from a company that reproduces the E30 parts, bodywork parts that BMW doesn't sell anymore. And I don't have to anymore because I just got a shell with healthy parts that I don't need to fix. So this is gonna accelerate everything, and I just couldn't say no. And the shell was only 600 euros. I mean, it would be stupid not to get it. And now I really can fix it in a reasonably amount of time. And the fenders with the car are also rust free. So usually all the fenders down at the rocker are rusted away. Basically, there's nothing there. These are still fine, which is a rarity, and they're original fenders. They're not reproductions, which is just amazing. So yeah, I mean, it would have been stupid to say no. Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna send pictures. I'm gonna make pictures tomorrow, and they'll be posted in the car section, car talk. Yeah, meanwhile, we'll work on this during the weekend and see what we can come up with. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I see you, if not sooner, on Monday.